Have you ever watched a soccer game and seen a player kick the ball only for it to swerve in mid-air? It looks like it's defying gravity, bending around a wall of defenders to find the back of the net. It seems impossible, like some kind of magic trick, being performed right there on the field. This incredible feat of athleticism and skill leaves spectators and even other players completely mesmerized. The ball starts on one path and then, as if guided by an invisible hand, it changes direction dramatically. It's a moment of pure sporting brilliance that makes us all jump out of our seats, wondering just how they managed to do that with a simple ball. This isn't just something you see in soccer, not at all. Think about a baseball game for a moment. The pitcher stands on the mound, winds up, and throws the ball. It flies towards the batter, looking like an easy hit. But then at the very last second, the ball drops and curves away, completely fooling the batter, who swings at empty air. This pitch is famously called a curveball, and it has been a game changer in baseball for over a century. It's a pitcher's secret weapon, a tool used to outsmart even the most powerful hitters. The batter sees one thing, but the ball does something entirely different, a testament to the pitcher's incredible control. Now, let's head over to the tennis court, where the same kind of magic is happening all the time. A player hits the ball with a powerful topspin. The ball shoots over the net, but instead of flying out of bounds, it suddenly dips down and lands perfectly inside the court. The spin makes the ball bounce in a strange and unpredictable way, making it incredibly difficult for the opponent to return the shot. This technique, whether it's a top spin forehand or a slicing backhand, allows players to control the game with precision, placing the ball exactly where they want it to go, often leaving their rival standing still. In all of these sports, soccer, baseball, and tennis, athletes are performing what looks like the impossible. They are making a simple, round ball move in ways that seem to defy the very laws of nature. It curves, it dips, it swerves, it bounces unexpectedly. These moments are what make sports so exciting and unpredictable. They are the plays we talk about for years, the highlights we watch over and over again. But what if I told you this wasn't magic at all? What if I told you it was all based on a cool, understandable, and frankly awesome principle of science? Well, it is. Let's consider this. So, what is the secret behind these amazing physics-defying moves? The answer has a name, the Magnus effect. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually quite simple when you break it down. It all starts with spin. When an athlete kicks, throws, or hits a ball, they can make it spin through the air. This spin is the key to everything that follows. Imagine a ball flying forward while also rotating rapidly. This rotation is what sets the stage for the incredible curving motion that we see. Without that initial spin, the ball would just fly in a much more predictable, straight line. The spin is the engine that drives the magic. Now, as this spinning ball flies through the air, it has to move the air out of its way. Think of the air as a river of tiny particles. On one side of the spinning ball, the surface of the ball is moving in the same direction as the airflow. This helps the air move past faster. It's like swimming with the current in a river. You move along more quickly and with less effort. This side of the ball essentially drags the air along with it, creating a zone where the air is moving at a higher speed. This is a crucial part of the puzzle that is happening on just one side of the ball. On the opposite side of the ball, the surface is spinning against the direction of the airflow. This collision between the spinning ball and the oncoming air slows the air down. It's like trying to swim against the current in that same river. It's much harder, and your progress is slower. This creates a zone of slower moving air on this side of the ball. So now we have a situation, one side of the ball has fast moving air and the other side has slow moving air. This difference is where the real magic of the Magnus effect begins to take shape, creating an imbalance around the ball. Here's the coolest part, and it comes from another science principle discovered by a fellow named Daniel Bernoulli. Faster moving air creates an area of lower pressure, while slower moving air creates an area of higher pressure. So our spinning ball now has a high pressure zone on one side and a low pressure zone on the other. Nature always likes to balance things out. So the high pressure area pushes the ball toward the low pressure area. This push is a force, and it's what makes the ball curve. The Magnus effect is just a fancy name for the force created by this pressure difference, pushing the ball off its straight path. Let's take a closer look at how this works in a real game, starting with soccer. When a player like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi lines up for a free kick, they don't just kick the ball hard, they kick it with a specific technique, striking it off center to give it a powerful sideways spin. As the ball flies toward the goal, this spin gets to work. One side of the ball spins against the air, creating high pressure. The other side spins with the air, creating low pressure. The ball is then pushed from the high pressure side to the low pressure side, causing it to bend beautifully around the defensive wall. It's a calculated move of pure physics. Now let's step up to the plate in baseball. The curveball is a classic example of the Magnus effect. A pitcher throws the ball with a strong topspin or a combination of topspin and side spin. As the ball hurtles towards the batter, the top surface of the ball is spinning forward against the airflow. This creates a high pressure zone on top of the ball. The bottom surface, meanwhile, is spinning backward, with the airflow creating a low pressure zone underneath. This pressure difference creates a downward force, causing the ball to drop suddenly as it nears the plate, making it incredibly difficult for the batter to hit squarely. But it's not just for making the ball curve. The Magnus effect also plays a role in a fast ball, something you might not expect. A pitcher throws a fastball with a lot of backspin, meaning the top of the ball is spinning backward toward the pitcher. This backspin creates a low pressure zone on top of the ball and a high pressure zone on the bottom. This results in an upward Magnus force. This upward push doesn't make the ball rise because gravity is still pulling it down. However, it does counteract gravity, making the ball drop less than it normally would. This makes the fastball seem faster and appear to hop as it reaches the batter. In both soccer and baseball, athletes have mastered the art of applying spin to a ball to control its flight path. They are, in essence, practical physicists. They may not be thinking about Bernoulli's principle or pressure differentials when they are on the field or the mound. Instead, they have developed an intuitive feel for how to strike or throw the ball to achieve a desired outcome. Through thousands of hours of practice, they have learned how to manipulate the laws of physics to their advantage, turning a simple ball into an unpredictable and game-winning weapon that can baffle even the most prepared opponents. The tennis court is another fantastic laboratory for observing the Magnus effect at play. One of the most common and powerful shots in modern tennis is the topspin forehand. When a player like Rafael Nadal hits the ball, the racket brushes up the back of it, imparting a tremendous amount of forward spin or topspin. As the ball flies over the net, this spin creates an area of high pressure on top of the ball and low pressure underneath. This generates a strong downward force. This is why a ball hit with heavy topspin can be struck so hard, yet still dive down and land safely inside the baseline. It allows for a powerful and aggressive style of play. The strategic advantage of topspin doesn't end when the ball lands. Because of its rapid forward rotation, a topspin shot kicks up off the court surface at a higher and faster angle. This makes the bounce very lively and difficult for the opponent to handle. They have to react quickly and often hit the ball at shoulder height, which is a much more awkward and less powerful position to return from. By consistently using topspin, a player can push their opponent back behind the baseline, control the rhythm of the rally, and dictate the flow of the entire point. It's a way of using physics to exert pressure and force errors. But tennis players can also spin the ball in the opposite direction. This is called a slice or backspin. For a slice backhand, the player chops down on the ball, causing it to spin backward as it flies through the air. This backspin creates the opposite Magnus effect to topspin. It generates an upward force, creating high pressure under the ball and low pressure on top. This makes the ball float or hang in the air longer and travel on a flatter trajectory. A well-executed slice can be a great defensive shot to buy time or a tricky offensive shot to change the pace of the game. The slice's magic continues after the bounce. Unlike the high kick of a topspin shot, a ball hit with backspin tends to stay very low after it hits the ground. It often skids off the surface, barely bouncing up at all. This forces the opponent to bend down low to hit the ball, often scooping it up rather than hitting it cleanly. By mixing up powerful topspin drives with low skidding slices, tennis players can keep their opponents completely off balance. They are using the Magnus effect in two different ways, turning a simple tennis rally into a complex physical and strategic chess match right on the court. So, the next time you are watching a game and you see a ball do something incredible, remember what's really going on. That perfectly bent free kick in soccer isn't magic. It's a masterful application of the Magnus effect. The player intentionally applied spin to create a pressure difference in the air, guiding the ball on a curved path to its target. It is a stunning display of skill, yes, but it is a skill rooted firmly in the predictable and beautiful laws of physics. Understanding this doesn't take away the wonder. In fact, it adds a whole new layer of appreciation for the athlete's genius and control. That unhittable curveball in baseball that seems to have a mind of its own is also a product of science. The pitcher is an artist of aerodynamics, using spin to create a force that fools the batter's eyes and timing. The same goes for the tennis player whose shots dip and dive or skid and slide across the court. Every spin, every swerve, every unexpected bounce is a testament to the athlete's intuitive understanding of how to make the air work for them. They are manipulating forces that are invisible to our eyes, but have a very visible and dramatic effect on the outcome of the game. Knowing about the Magnus effect changes how you see the game. You start to notice the little things, the way a soccer player's foot contacts the ball, the snap of a pitcher's wrist, the angle of a tennis player's racket. You are no longer just a spectator watching a game. You are an observer of science in action. You can appreciate not just the power and athleticism, but also the incredible finesse and intelligence required to execute these moves. It connects the world of sports to the world of science in a way that makes both more exciting and more understandable for everyone. Ultimately, the Magnus effect is one of the key ingredients that makes sports so thrilling and beautiful to watch. It introduces an element of unpredictability and artistry that separates the good players from the great ones. It proves that what often looks like pure magic is in fact something even cooler. It's science. An understanding that science allows us to celebrate these amazing moments, not just as feats of strength, but as triumphs of human ingenuity and skill. So keep watching, keep cheering, and keep appreciating the awesome physics that makes sports so much fun. Consider that